Ew. I love the way this fan just... Ooh, it's so good. It's not the loudest one I have now, because the loudest one is my Le Grand Dame fan, because it literally sounds like a crack. But this one is just a good... Yes. I live. Crisp. Very crisp, very gorgeous, very cute, very gorgeous. But... Hola, 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 oli, 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 y bienvenidos a The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. This week I am, I'm being a little healthy, trying to be healthy at least, so I'm having this cute protein fruit smoothie, Gigarama today. I put on the little green seal. The smoothie itself is like red-ish, and I'm white, so I'm representing the Mexican flag today.
Work. And I am River, your Brazilian correspondent here on The Cup. And today I'm just drinking some water out of my Tweety mug because it is so cute. And I hadn't used it yet on the pod. So.
Cute. I love. You'll get to the point where you're going to have to start repeating stuff, and then it's like, I don't have any new stuff.
Oh, no, I still got like 10 plus mugs to go. Don't worry.
Okay, good. Well, we are excited to be back to talk about Drag Race Mexico. I know our recap for last week was a little late. Things were a little weird, as you know. DragCon was happening.
Some of the technical difficulties. It was my first time in Eduardo too, but thank you for bearing with us.
And on that point, I want to say the absolute biggest thank you, River, to you and Eduardo for holding down the fort. Everyone really seemed to love the Latino takeover last week, and I too love it. I absolutely loved it. I thought the episode was so cute. Y'all did a phenomenal job for both of you hosting for the first time, so I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I am so happy to be back, though, to talk about this episode, even though I will say this might have been my least enjoyable episode of the season, but I still didn't dislike it at all.
Mm-hmm. This isn't it was so good though. I think that's the thing.
It's like the season.
It wasn't a bad episode, but because the last episode was so good, it kind of was
so good.
It was a huge fall, but it still wasn't a flop. But yeah.
And I have some thoughts on Snatch Game last week I want to dive into because I love it. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because we are here almost all the time, giving you almost all things drag. Check the description below, where you can find our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, where you can find us on Patreon for exclusive content and early access, including early access to the Look Over Here episodes for all of the Drag Race franchises we are currently covering, and for where you can find the link to get our merch, including but not limited to cup mug, at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Signatures not included. I just went to DragCon and got mine signed. So, and we do ship domestically and internationally, worldwide, every inch of the world. So there are no excuses, period. Now, diving into this episode, River, I just have, my biggest gripe with this episode is it just felt way more formulaic than everything else we had seen so far this season, in that it was just so cut and dry. There was no fluff. There was no, it was not a personality episode. It was a let's just get through this episode kind of situation.
This is the kind of episode, I don't need a mini challenge for every episode, but for certain specific challenges, I think a mini challenge kind of gives the episode something that the main challenge is not going to bring. So this main challenge, we needed something silly and fun and stupid for this episode, and I feel like that's what was missing. Something just to make it lighthearted and fun.
And maybe someone to pick their bag first, so that way, it wasn't just an arbitrary, okay, you're lined up this way. All right, boo-hoo, Lexa. Sorry, girl.
Or a mini challenge, a fast mini challenge, a stupid one, just to...
Right.
The winner would assign the bags or something.
Right, that's all I needed. That's all I needed from this episode. But I do want to, circling back to the start of the episode, and I'm so sad that my Ava Pocket is gone.
Looking great, though.
Oh my god, in her best fucking look of the season, too. I just, I wasn't here last week to talk. Truly the best way to go. And I wasn't here last week to talk about Ava's departure, but I'm so sad. I really, really grew to love her over the episodes that we did get her. Truly one of my absolute faves. I hope we get to see her again in some capacity. But that Snatch Game, baby, I have to say that is one of my favorite Snatch Games I've seen in a minute, honestly.
Oh, it was really good.
Like, almost everyone was so good. And I'm so happy that we're finally, and it's going to continue on in this episode, we'll talk about it, we're seeing Luna emerging out of literally nowhere.
Yep, peeking her neck, just gunning for the girls.
So good.
Yeah, love to see
so good. I was just like, is this the same Luna Landsman we've been experiencing for a couple weeks now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the girl.
Something.
There was a big shit. I was like, okay, Miss Thing.
One thing that I want to know if you agree with me for Snatch Game is, I think this is the best like panel of guests, like the funniest that we have.
The contestants
and Turbulence.
I loved them.
They were like as funny as the girls. Which
absolutely
made it even better, like it was natural.
Absolutely. And they weren't too funny to overshadow the girls. That was my favorite part about them, is they knew what they were there to do. And I hope Turbulence is on season 3, because she's kind of fun. I don't know if she would, but that would be kind of fun.
It's like a Sugar and Spice.
Ooh,
because they are,
or like
they work as a duo, so like they could.
I feel like it would probably be more like Gala and I don't remember the other queen's name, and I'm so sorry. But when they competed on La Mas Draga as a duo, they were the Red Rabbit duo. Maybe something along those lines, because we've never seen Drag Race actually have a duo compete as a duo. So I think that would actually be a really interesting kind of way to go about it. I will say though, I didn't agree with the bottom 2 last week.
Oh. Who do you think? I
would have put Horacio in the bottom 2 over Elektra, personally.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
I can see that. For me, unfortunately, I do think Ava was the worst. I just really didn't get anything from Horacio. And Elektra, for me, at least,
in the bottom because she started well. That's the only reason.
I see that. I would rather have someone that doesn't start as strong and builds up to it, kind of like Elektra did to an extent, than someone who started strong and fizzled like Horacio did. That's just me personally. But I definitely agreed with the win for sure. I honestly thought it could have maybe been a double win.
Honestly, I agree. I would not have been mad at all. Because I was very torn between the two, but yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But we got our double win this week, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, yes, Ava's gone. They don't spend that much time on it. We're back in the workroom the next day. We don't spend much time. Lolita and Tyga are back in the workroom.
Tyga looks so good.
They look so good. They look so good, but I'm tired of this like robotic hosting. I'm really tired of it. Oh. And I'm saying these words in this way, and I'm only looking at the camera when I say these words. And I'm going to turn my head so as to give expression. I hate it. I thought they were going to settle into something. And Lolita was so natural on the first season that I don't understand the shift here.
Yeah, but I think this is I think it was just this episode, because for me, they have been like getting better as a duo of hostess throughout the season. And then this episode, it kind of fell a little bit off.
It dipped a little. Yeah. This episode dipped a little in a lot of ways, honestly.
Overall. But, yeah.
But no mini challenge. We go straight into the maxi challenge, which is the third look-based challenge of the season.
Mm-hmm. Without us having an acting challenge so far yet.
We have not had acting. We have not had improv. We have not had a rusical. That will change next week.
Snatch Game is kind of improv, right?
And improv, I guess. I consider Snatch Game
kind of acting, but like, you know what I mean, like an acting.
Improv or like a roast, like the written
comedy,
joke.
Comedy.
Yeah, the written comedy challenge. We haven't had any of that.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I want to like this season so much, and the producers seem to be doing everything in their damn power to make me not like this season.
See, but that's the thing. I am enjoying this season. The only thing that
is
getting on my nerves is like the order of the challenges. That's it.
Same.
Yeah.
It's the order of the challenges, and I just want a little bit more personality from Tyga and Lolita when they're hosting. That's all, really. Yeah. But we find out that the Maxi Challenge for this week is a design challenge. We are designing a look from scratch using national sports equipment.
I think they couldn't say Olympics, or could
they could? They definitely could not say Olympics.
But that's what it was giving, right?
It was very Olympics themed, very on brand as it did start today. Love it. I haven't been able to watch the opening ceremony yet because I was busy this morning.
Oh, I started, but it was too long. I saw like Gaga, and then I had to stop to watch like the other. I
heard about Celine performing, and I'm gonna cry. So I'm just like, I'm waiting to be in a very good emotional state to where then I can watch it and cry. So no big deal. But
this episode was very well timed. Let's just say that.
Incredibly well timed. Love it. Love to see it. But yeah, the girls, they basically go down the line as to where they're standing and say, hey, pick a bag. And Lexa gets what's left over. Okay.
But really, like, how would they know? So, like, it's really random. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Right?
Like,
and here's the thing. This challenge is an unconventional materials challenge, design challenge is already, like, a lot harder. But this specifically, who was that guy? I think it was Suculenta that got swimming. Like the materials that she got is so hard to work with, even if you are a good sewer. So like it's hard. So like, I just want to say that I commend all of the girls for everything that they did. Like just before we say anything else, because this was really hard.
Oh, so here's my conspiracy theory. As to why we didn't get to see a whole lot of workroom stuff in this episode. My conspiracy theory is that we saw the materials they were given in their bags, and it was next to nothing.
Yep.
No workable fabric, basically, for the most part. I fundamentally believe that the queens complained to production, and were like, we cannot make outfits out of these things. Like also, it is physically impossible.
You have to deconstruct stuff. Like that takes so much time. You have to like tear stuff apart and then build something. Like it's.
We will be walking down the runway naked, which is why when you look, most of them are just wearing fabric that I don't think was originally given to them. Oh, and I think they all were like, production, y'all need to get your shit together and give us some fabric. Because otherwise, baby, we're not going to be able to make anything.
Yeah.
So that's my conspiracy theory as to why it's very like, we literally go from picking the bags, basically straight into Tyga and Lolita talking to them in the workroom about their concepts.
Yeah, and that, like, the bag thing, like, the material thing could have been solved so easily. They could have just made bigger bags to fit more stuff inside and put, like, one or two like big pieces of fabric, like two options of like big fabric, like so they could like do something, and then like more like stuff to like the other materials, like the other shit
right.
But it was such a simple
yeah. And so we get the walkthrough with Tyga and Lolita, and they're talking about how they like certain people's concepts and they don't like other people's concepts. Unique decides she's going to change her concept. Suculenta's a little worried. Yes.
The one highlight was Ever. Her drawing with the reveals.
Oh, yeah.
That was everything to me. Like they were gagged. But I was worried when she did that because I was like, oh, they're gonna expect too much, and then she's gonna deliver less than they're expecting. So I kind of got a little bit worried, but she delivered. So
yeah. I'm going to be honest. Oscar Madrazo was here, so I tuned most of this out.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then we basically go straight into the next day, and we get a mirror moment with Suculenta. So I was like, okay, cool. Suculenta's finally going home.
Yeah, it was giving very much that.
Yeah, I don't mean to be this pessimistic about this episode. It's just it was boring for me. I gotta just be real. This episode was boring. I really did not care for this episode. Yeah. I really did not care for this episode at all. But what I did care about hearing was about Suculenta telling her sister that she does drag. The reception was not what she wanted.
Yeah.
And even, and no shade to Suculenta and no disrespect to Suculenta's story because it is very important. And I'm happy that she has, you know, the connection that she has now. But like, even the mirror moment was boring.
Yeah.
Like this episode could have been an email. And like, it's unfortunate because I'm really enjoying this season, but it's just like, I think next week we're going to be back to form. It seems like next week we'll be back to form. So.
Yeah, but just to note, like this critique, at least for me, but correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not the Queen's fault. This is not on the Queens.
Absolutely not.
So no. Yeah, just to make that clear.
Anytime I say an episode is boring, it always comes back to production and editing. That's it.
Yeah, just so people don't get confused and kind of like because.
100%. No, I think the Queens are phenomenal and wonderful and great. It's just the producing of the episode is incredibly fucking boring. So
it kind of felt like this episode was maybe supposed to be later or earlier in the season, and it was kind of shifted around, or maybe it was like thought of later, like not. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It felt very like last minute and not well thought out.
I have a feeling that maybe this was supposed to be a part of the ball. And it was going to be like some sort of like sports of the fair was going to be the third category or something like that. I don't know. This felt weirdly placed here because like we've been talking about, this is the third look challenge. It's the second design challenge we've had this season. But normally, like I honestly would have loved to see like an improv challenge right here, going into a rusical and then going into another design challenge, just because I want things to be a little bit more spaced out. But it's clear that they're not doing that. Where I felt like last season, the challenges were really properly spaced out in a nice way. And and again, that's on production, obviously. But yeah, I just wish it was a little bit more, you know.
Oh, maybe they shifted this when they saw that this was going to coincide. Anyways, with the
Olympics.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe that was it. And they found out like during production. So maybe like that's what happened.
That very well could have been. Yeah.
Maybe. I think that's the most
regardless.
Likely, but
yeah.
Let's.
Well, I guess we can just go to the runway.
Keep it moving.
So
yeah.
Ooh. Guest judge Johnny Kaz. I really wish Eduardo was here to tell us who this wonderful man was because I really liked him. He had a moment in the workroom as well where he came in. He scared the shit out of Janeri, and I loved it.
That was a fun moment of the episode.
That was the first time I didn't realize it was they had the two-way mirrors in the Colombian studio too.
Oh yeah, how would they record the makeup things?
It's always from the side. I don't remember it ever being through the mirror. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
So, but I was happy to see it.
I don't think we've had a person behind the mirror thing since All Stars 2, right?
I don't think any other franchise has done it other than US, honestly. Well, no, we had it on
we had
season
Alicia
4.
Keys.
Alicia Keys, yeah.
Yeah.
Look behind you.
Oh, I about the guest judge. I wish I Eduardo was here as well, because I really enjoyed him, and I'm gonna Google him later. I didn't have time, because the queens seem to be really excited about him being there.
It seems
he seemed like a very important, relevant person in the queer community in Mexico. So like, I want to know more.
Right. It seems like he is. From what I'm getting from his Instagram, his partner is very attractive. And he's very attractive. But it seems like he's either a hip hop artist or a country artist, and I can't really tell. Because the way that they were talking was like, oh, it's really good to have him representing in an otherwise very masculine or heteronormative industry. So, hey, you know what? That makes me happy to see. Oh, you know what? I'm going to follow him. He's cute. Sure.
And he looks great. I love this monochromatic cowboy look.
The look is good.
So good. Yeah.
Now, I want to talk more about the looks and look over here, but remind me, River, where are we at with the standings for the Tyga versus Lolita?
We were tied 2-2 last episode, and I don't remember which one won last episode, so we'll have to check that out. But
I know my answer.
For this week?
For last week, too.
Oh, okay. I don't remember last week. That's the thing.
It was Tyga and that beautiful,
it was
mint
Tyga.
green.
So it's Tyga is ahead. It's 3 for Tyga and 2 for Lolita so far.
Yes.
Okay, for this week, I am very conflicted. I even wrote down
too.
They both ate.
They did.
And I'm in very different, opposite ways. And I'm obsessed for different reasons with both looks. So
Right.
I'm going home. I can't.
I think I could pick a winner just because I feel like there's one look that's a little bit more out of the box.
Okay.
And I think for those reasons, personally, I would say Tyga.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Tyga as well, but for a different reason. For the fact that just like when she did the cheetah, like the feline theme throughout the episode. And because for this episode, she did the same. Like she tied in her runway look with
She's been doing it every episode, and I'm loving it. I'm really loving it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been I think it's been every episode so far, if not almost every episode.
Okay. Yeah, so
and
for
Lolita
that,
looks incredible
I'm gonna
too.
Give it, yeah. 100%. Also, Lolita is wearing Brazilian colors, so I'm like, I love it.
Yes.
Even more. But like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
This was the hardest one so far for me to pick between.
Definitely. I think they both, I just really, really like all of the belts. And then this structured hair piece that Tyga has, just that's really what does it for me,
asymmetry of like the sleeve
so,
and then the one leg and like
so
opposite sides.
Stupid good. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. But la categoría es Nacionales de Drag. As always, we're going to give quick thoughts here. Our full thoughts will be on Look Over Here. And if you want to get early access to our discussion of the looks on Look Over Here, make sure to join the Patreon. So, thanks. But first up, Elektra van der Geld, and her sport was boxing.
So a lot of work went to this look. But the design is kind of boring.
Shouldn't have been in the bottom 3.
Period.
Shouldn't have been in the bottom 3.
Yeah, that was weird. That was suspicious. Anyways.
I'll say something as well. I have another. I came back with conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory. I don't think Elektra's winning this season. I'm not going to elaborate further at this moment, but I don't think Elektra's winning this season.
No. We can maybe do a guessing game at the end and say who we think is going to win.
Oh, I know who the top 4 is, pretty much. I'm not spoiled, but I have a really good idea who the top 4 is. So,
okay.
It's fully now solidified for me. So
we'll see if we agree.
Yeah. Next up, Janari Bloom, who had roller skating.
I love this hair. Mm-hmm. I love the idea and the non-binary flag colors. I don't like the styling.
This one was perfectly safe for me. There was enough to keep it safe.
Yeah.
Definitely not bad. I love the wig.
Safe for me too.
Love the wig. Mm-hmm. Love pink. Love pink. Actually, it's not just a pink hat. It is a Bernie hat. Shout out to Bernie. We love Bernie. But next up, Unique. And her sport was gymnastics.
Mm-hmm. This one hurt because she doesn't look bad. But with the sport for the gays, like we wanted more, you know.
Here's the thing. I actually kind of like it. The gayest
sport.
Like, right. I actually really I liked it. I still would have had her in the bottom, but I did really like it.
This is the most beautiful, like, neck up, like, makeup and hair that she's, like, she looks so beautiful here. So beautiful. Soft.
Very that. Very, very that. But yeah, I agree. Luna Landsman, who has tennis as her sport.
This mirror is everything. I will say this. I love this look. I'm obsessed. I just don't love the colors. But that's not her fault because it was the materials that she used.
Right. Yeah, I feel very similarly. I think the construction is really good. I think it's a very solid, very good garment.
The styling is good as well. Like the little visor with the pony, so good. Yeah. And the little, like, I don't know how you call it, like sweat.
Save it for look over here, River.
I literally forgot we were doing that.
We have to. It is part of our contractual obligations, apparently. No. Next up is Lexa Fox, who had cycling.
Mm-hmm. This was simple but effective for me. But like,
should have been in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Should have been in the bottom 3. Should have been in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Next up, Suculenta, who had swimming.
Mm-hmm.
And that she sure did.
She sure did. She looks like she's having fun up there.
Good for her. All right, so next up is Horacio Potasio with football.
Girl, I'm obsessed. She said she doesn't sew. This is stupid.
Girl, you've done it again. Constantly raising the bar and looking fabulous while doing so. And last up, Eva Blunt, who had volleyball.
My favorite sport. I love.
Oh, good.
Yes, I used to play volleyball for like
8
cute years. Yeah.
My favorite sport is not represented here.
Well, like ball sport, because my favorite is gymnastics. But anyways,
mine is also gymnastics, but still, my favorite ball-based sport is not here.
Yes. This wig, stupid. My favorite part is the padded boots.
Yeah.
Because that's the position that I used to play. Like, I don't know the name in English, like the one that would throw themselves on the ground all the time. That was my position. So like,
yeah.
I love that especially because that was my shit.
Work.
Love Mother.
So good. So good. But
yes.
Before we get critiques, we do get the question of who should go home and why.
Right. Kind of early.
Right. Top 8. All right, girls. So we had Lexa saying Eva. So Eva got 1 vote. Sukulenta got 2 votes from Janeri and Unique. And then everybody else voted for Unique to go. That doesn't really come as a surprise, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, she's been in the bottom, like, this was the 4th time?
This was Unique's 3rd time in the bottom.
Oh, 3rd. Okay. I mean, yeah. I don't think any of them like flopped or looked like horrible, but she did have like one of the worst looks of the night, so it makes sense.
I don't know. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I don't know if I am watching a different show, but it seemed like everyone was so confused when Sukulenta ended up in the bottom 2. As if, like, because she hasn't really been delivering for 6 weeks in a row.
I don't think they were shocked
saying this
that
out
she
of
was in the
disrespect.
bottom. I think they were shocked that she left, that she was eliminated.
Why?
I think only because Unique has been in the bottom more times than she has. I think that's just the only reason. And it doesn't make sense to me, but that's the only reason I can think of that would make sense.
Sure. I don't know.
But,
like, Unique does, I guess, have a worse track record than Sukulenta, but like I wouldn't have had Sukulenta safe a lot in the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, me neither. Like some of the times
the only episode I would have had her safe was Snatch Game, because I actually thought her Snatch Game was pretty decent. So, but regardless, we end up...
And Unique did a great performance on the lip sync. So, like...
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So, we end up with the top 3 of Eva, Horacio, and Luna. I absolutely agree.
Yep.
100%. Absolutely agreed. Those were the only 3 people that I thought could have been in the top this week. And we get Luna winning the challenge. Yay!
Twice in a row.
Out of nowhere, Luna Landsman. All right, Luna.
We see.
And Eva is the runner-up again. Oh, just kidding. They decide to finally give Eva Blunt a win. Yeah.
No, because Eva was literally. And then they gave her the win. I was like, okay.
I was like, are they about to Jan her again? Again.
And I'm so happy because honestly, they were so close to me for this challenge that like I could. It was really hard.
Oh yeah, no.
But Horacio could have been also like the 3 of them were like so perfection that to me could have been like either of the top 3 could have won and tied, like either.
Right, literally, like either way, I would have been fine. I think Horacio being 3rd here makes the most sense because I think both Luna and Eva put a little bit more into their look.
I think it's because their silhouette was more extravagant because like Horacio was more quote unquote like simple, but it wasn't really. Or maybe because like she can't win everything. So like
pretty much. They're like, I mean, I've said it for a while now. I think they're setting up for Horacio to win. And am I mad at that? No. But, like, she had her one potential moment of slippage last week. And now, otherwise, she's just been, good.
Flying high.
Yeah. So our bottom three ends up being Sukulenta, Unique, and Electra. Like I said briefly, I would have put...
For some reason.
I would have put Lexa in the bottom over Electra for sure.
And the reasoning that they gave for putting her in the bottom,
bullshit.
I was like,
was
girl,
bullshit.
She made a lined cape. Like, shut up. Anyway.
Shut up.
And like the letters on the back of the cape, like she sewed that, like cut and sewed that, like shut up.
I don't know what the judges need Electra to do for them to actually acknowledge that she's good at drag.
Yeah. This felt very forced.
It feels very Angeria on her first season, but they're actually putting her in the bottom. Where she started so strong, and then she's like, for the judges, she's just like kind of fading now, and I'm like, I don't get that, but okay.
I don't see it.
But thankfully, they didn't put Electra in the bottom again. I hated seeing it last week. I didn't want to see it this week. But we do end up with Sukulenta and Unique in the bottom two, lip syncing to Agita by Dana Paula. Great song.
Love the song. Love the song.
Love the song. What did you think of the lip sync?
I think it was interesting to see such like two very different takes on the song. Like one, like Unique giving like woman pop star face, like very feminine and twirling, and then Sukulenta going for like funny, stupid, camp. Literal fish, like
legitimately a fish,
like actual fish. I don't think either of them did bad. I think Unique did well, actually. For me, I liked her performance, and I think she won for sure. Like I agree 100%. Like I understand it was like her third time on the bottom, but she did she did better on the lip sync. For me, so like I'm not mad that she's still here, because it's the rules. It's how it works. So.
Yeah. I was a little worried that they were going to give Sukulenta the win because of the way that they were reacting. They were just so happy with her. They were laughing at what she was doing, and I don't think she gave a bad performance by any means of the imagination. It didn't fully... I wanted to see a bit more, like, serious lip syncing in this case. Just a tad. Like, not everything
also, that starfish kind of got in the way of...
Yeah. Where I thought Unique just really served Dana Paula down. Like, this wasn't her best lip sync so far. But I think she did a really strong job. It was a good job. And I think she deserved to win the lip sync and stay. And I'm interested to see if she ends up in the bottom again, what they're going to do, because Lolita was like, no more in the bottom. Like, if she ends up in the bottom too, are they just going to eliminate her? Like, no lip sync?
Well, can't wait to see.
Like, if you're going to be in the bottom two now, you better hope you're in the bottom two against Unique. Because I don't think it matters what you do in the bottom two against Unique. They're going to send Unique home.
Yeah. Well, but next week it's a musical, so that's something that she might like do well in. So we don't know. We'll see.
I do want to give Sukulenta her flowers though, because concept queen, down. What we've seen of her since Drag Race and what she's posting now on socials is so fun and so high concept. And I think she's a really, really good queen. She's just, not maybe the best queen for Drag Race, but she's a great queen nonetheless. And it means that Unique has taken out the entire De La Fuente family.
Well, we know what house she's not welcome in.
We know who will not be voting for Miss Congeniality, who they will not be voting for Miss Congeniality, because none of them are going to vote for Unique.
But I mean, you were saying about Sukulenta, like, it doesn't help the fact that like this season is so like the talent is so high caliber, like so it's not that she's not like she's not good. It's just like everyone is just so like
right.
That
part.
That. Very that.
That.
And I'm excited for next week. Finally
something different.
Yes.
It's a rusical. Thank God. We didn't get clarification on what the rusical was, but but yeah. I'm excited to see something a little bit different for these queens.
Yeah. Do they have a rusical for Mexico 1?
I don't believe so. I don't think so.
So it's going to be the first one for the franchise. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But I will say as well, I have a draft update.
Oh.
Ooh. So Lana is holding on. And holding on pretty decently because she does have Luna.
Oh.
As kind of the only person providing her any sort of support at the moment. So Lana is still in fourth with 39.5 points, but she is closer to third place now, which is Eduardo with 55 points. David is in second place with 61 points, and I am currently leading the draft with 77.5 points. So, So, with that being said, we're going to get out of here. I don't have anything else to do. We got to go talk about some looks. So, thank you for joining us for this episode recap, albeit, maybe a more pessimistic one, but thank you for joining us nonetheless. Make sure to check the description below for all of our audio podcast links, our YouTube channels, and our Patreon, as well as where you can find us on our social media, where you can follow all of us individually, where you can get your merch. All those links are down below. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Thank you for joining. And cheers.
Cheers.
Woo. Woo. Adios. Adios, 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 adios. Adios.